Hey guys. Well, remember when I did my list of the top 10 favorite male movie characters? Well, I'm gonna do it again. This time it's gonna be on my top 10 favorite female movie characters. The rules are gonna be the same. I'm only including human characters, and this is all ranked on my thoughts, so if you don't like them, it's just my opinion, so you can just enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you can dislike the video all you want. But this is my opinion on what I think are my top 10 favorite female movie characters from the movies I have seen. And for this list, I am going to rank them by, you know, just what I see from them best. Alright, without further ado, let's count down right now. Number 10 is Marge from Fargo. Now, many for the police in the films, mainly when I see a awesome policeman in a movie, I see a policeman, maybe in a robber. But this is the one of those times when we actually fall along with a female police. There's been times, but this is my favorite time mostly, just because of how much it works. Marge from Fargo is no exception. Many people think the main focus are, the male characters, but really the main focus actually kind of reflects on this fellow girl. She mostly is known to being the policeman of the film and is there to, investigate the crime scene and all. She isn't like most other female characters you see in these kind of dramas that mainly star male. And I like that. I like how they reflect on her a lot more different than they do in some other times. And it's just one of those films, and I enjoy it. Now, besides that, though, I guess maybe she could be a little bit more to the film, but oh well. She still works for what she is, even though it's not as much as these next few characters you'll see on this list. So just enjoy how it works, because she means a lot to the film. Number 9 is... I forgot her name. She was the girl from the Breakfast Club. What she was in this movie is the kind of princess type of person. The girl who is in detention with all the other boys. There was one other girl, but she barely speak at all. She was mostly just being as silent as possible. I really should have looked at her name before I did this list, because I could really make myself like a total idiot. But for those who actually have seen The Breakfast Club, you should know who she is. If you haven't seen The Breakfast Club and you don't know who she is, then I'm sorry, you're gonna have to see it if you want to know her name, or just look it up online. But despite that, though, the character overall, she is not like most other teens. The 80s, like most people believe, is the best decade for teens, and I think she was the best kind of example for a teen. Like Molly Ringwald, the character behind the role, mostly appears as the everyday ordinary brat from some of the other 80s teen flicks. But in this movie, it's played a little differently. Not really, but to me it is. It's used up a little differently for this. I really enjoy how she is put out in this film, and I enjoy what she gives us. Again, though, these next few options have a lot more to the film than she does. Number 8 is Sandy from Grease. Looking at this picture, you can just already tell how sexy she must be in this film. Sandy from Grease is like, damn. This isn't actually what she looked like in the first half of the film. It's what she looked like in the poster and how the film was advertised. But in the first bit of the film, she looked pretty basic for the character. She was played by Olivia Newton-John. Around the final bit of the film, that's when she started to look like this. She acted the same, really. The thing about her is that her loved one named Danny has moved on. They've left each other, and when he went to a high school to become a Grease person, that's the name, like some kind of cool looking bully guy, dude. And when he found out Sandy's at the same school, it seems Sandy doesn't see him like that, and it's sad. So around the end, Sandy decides to change for him, and this is what she turns out like. At the end, it seems he changed as well. It sounds dumb for an ideal moral, but if you actually have seen the Grease musical, you'll know that this isn't really the kind of ending you think it is. It's a more alike type of ending, a more simple ending. And I enjoy it. I enjoy how much this character means to the film. She isn't just like other film where she's used randomly. I will admit Danny's a lot more fun in the film, but she still adds a great amount of joy to what I see in this movie. Just saying. Number 7 is Mary Poppins. Oh, look at this. Everyone's favorite iconic Disney character. I think a lot of us Disney fans, the ones who grew up with Disney, have seen this movie. Mary Poppins is a classic. It is timeless. It is fabulous. It is very memorable. It's just everything. I mean, I think of Mary Poppins as the kind of movie that you would, only the most cynical person would enjoy. The person who really loves Disney to enjoy. The person who really despises, the person who likes to criticize Disney, the person who never grew up with any Disney movie of the past is the only kind of person that would hate this movie. The character, how about the character? She kind of reflects on what most Disney elements. She sings, she hands up a bunch of birds and all. She's kind of like a Snow White, Cinderella kind of person. Only she's not really. She flies with an umbrella. I'm not gonna lie, I actually tried doing that as a kid. I was so dumb. And she's known to being the babysitter kind of growing. Believe me, if I was younger, I swear I wish I had a babysitter like that. Too old for a babysitter, but when I was younger, I swear I'd play for someone like that. Please, I actually think it's best we don't have an actual babysitter that exists like that, but thinking as a kid, I thought as a child that of her being wonderful. But in real life, I realize it seems she's not really the kind of person. In the movie's ways, though, it's fabulous to see what she does. She's goes through a lot. I like how Julie Andrews portrays as her. Now, how about the portrayal of Emily Blunt? Most people don't like it. I don't think it's that bad, but Julie Andrews is more timeless and classic than her, so I'll say that. Number 6 is Ripley from Alien. Oh, look at this picture of her, though. She is really badass in this movie. If you've seen girls in most horror movies, you'll know that the women in the horror films are all just so wimpy and so scared. They just get killed instantly because of how scared they are. Not her. She's the main focus of the film. The whole thing she does in this movie, she literally is the exact opposite of every average horror movie girl. Look at her. She carries a rogue fire gun. I don't know what it's called. I'm so stupid. She goes through so much. She's like John McClane, kind of, except not really. I just love how she literally does everything every other horror movie girl doesn't. I don't know if Alien is that much of a horror movie, but I think it actually kind of is. So, when it is, and seeing Ripley being the big lead in the film, the big murderer, it's fabulous to watch. I mean, seeing her just literally blow all those aliens to death, destroy those aliens, kill them to death. Oh, man, she's just the perfect kind of character for this movie. I mean, believe me, imagine if she was one of those kind of horror movie women just wimped out, being so scared to actually do all that. Nah, she does all this. She does all of this. Number 5 is Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. I kind of had mixed thoughts if I wanted to actually include her or not. On one hand, she's pretty, she's well acted, she means a lot to the film. But on the other hand, she's kind of your average, ordinary girl. The thing is, though, this movie is a lot more to the meaning. Most movies back in the 30s and 40s had main focus to the men and make the women as ridiculously spoiled and normal as possible. But in this movie, Dorothy is the main focus, and it's the focus that is perfectly put together. I think she means so much to how the film works. She is used to be the real main character, while every other character in this movie is kind of used to be minor. Not her. She means a lot to the film. She's the major lead to the film. And I honestly really enjoy it. I think she's a great character. She's better than those previous characters because even though those characters were nice, Dorothy means a lot more and is just a lot more unusual to see for a film. And I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing the stuff she does, the stuff she handles. She's the right kind of person for the kind of film. I think Julie Garland did some really great portrayals back in the day, and this was definitely one of those. I certainly recommend watching the latest film, Judy. It doesn't star Julie Garland, but it does talk a little bit about her history and all. So if you're a fan of Judy Garland like I am, you'll probably really enjoy that movie. Number 4 is Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Ooh, look at you over here talking about the Disney princesses. Well, actually, I'm gonna be honest. I don't normally do this on YouTube, but I'm gonna do it because I have no choice. When I was a child, I loved Disney to the point where I even loved the Disney princess films. Like, I binge watch them as just as much as my sister does. Like, binge watch all those classics: Cinderella, The Little Mermaid, Snow White. This one was certainly my favorite, and still is. Mainly because of the kind of character reflected in this role. I even dressed up as her a little bit when I was younger. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I was thinking, but she's a lot better than those because those Disney princesses have a lot of personality traits. While this one's personality traits are kind of different, but are actually a lot better than those. If you know the story, if you actually have seen the movie, you actually are a Disney fan, you'll know how it works. She falls in love with a beast. And according to what we see in these Disney princesses, that's pretty different. That's something we don't really normally see. Normally, it's Cinderella going out with a hot dude. It's normally Snow White having to handle all this just for a hot dude. No, he handles so much for a beast. I mean, look at it. It's like, you all remember the movie King Kong that had that little phrase, beauty that killed the beast? It's kind of what this is, except different, very different, 100% different. That's what I love about this character, and that's why it's at number 4, not somewhere higher on the list. I'm sorry, I know. Man, she means a lot to me back then. She still does today. Number 3 is a tie between Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel. I choose a tie because these two I had a hard time picking which one is more. These two Marvel superhero females are great. I mean, Black Widow, I was going to go with Black Widow, but one thing, I don't think she's as powerful as these. These two actually have big powers. Black Widow has a sexy body and acrobatic power abilities. It's just, that's really it. She doesn't really have any actual superpowers. These two do. The thing is, though, these two mean something different to the female side of Marvel superheroes. That's why I went with a tie with them. Scarlet Witch is the younger side. When it was introduced a little bit earlier. I mean, but in the time when she was used really well. Her best character trait would have to be in both Infinity War and Captain America Civil War. And Endgame, kind of, but she wasn't in much of Endgame. She was only there for the final bit of it, so I won't count that as much. But yeah, Scarlet Witch has the right kind of personality for the right kind of character she is. Having the ability to use her hands to, I don't know, force fields and all. Right? I don't know what you call it, but she has like magic abilities. It's like the ability to lift things and throw them with the magic powers kind of thing. I'm stupid, am I? Captain Marvel's powers are she can go fight in space without having to wear a space suit, and she can literally break through ships like a freaking rocket nuke. Like, that's incredible. So I say Captain Marvel is better, but I don't want to have any disrespect to Scarlet Witch too, so I decided to win with both of them. I know, I'm just thinking. Number 2 is Rey from Star Wars. Ooh, look at me talking about the sequel trilogy. Ooh. I like the sequel trilogy. I don't get what they're saying. I love it. It brings back Star Wars, and I enjoy it for that reason. I don't get why people want to hate the sequel trilogy. It's because it's made by Disney, and Disney ruined Star Wars. Oh, shut up. Sequel trilogy's awesome. And Rey's the best part, I believe. Not really BB-8 and Kylo Ren, but Rey is the best female out of all the other Star Wars females. Princess Leia was decent, but she's more iconic than she is awesome. And Padme is just terrible. Like, I mean, come on, she doesn't mean anything to Star Wars. We don't need her. There's also Jyn Erso, but she doesn't really mean anything either. Rey is personally my personal favorite female out of the whole Star Wars group. I mean, she has that cool stick. She wasn't considered to be the Jedi in The Force Awakens, but in The Last Jedi, she is going to become a big Jedi. So she learns the ways of the Force and learns to use that lightsaber more. I mean, she used it in The Force Awakens, but she got to learn more about it. And in The Rise of Skywalker, she used up that powers really uniquely. I don't get why people hate Rise of Skywalker. I love it. Rey, man, she's the perfect kind of female lead out of all the others. I don't get the hatred. I enjoy it. before we get to what I think is my favorite all-time female movie lead, let's look at the honorable mentions. There's another character I forgot the name of. She was from the Lord of the Rings movies. But like I said about Gandalf, Lord of the Rings movies mainly reflect on what happens rather than who stars in it, so I don't really think it's that much to her. There's Sloane from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I mean, she's pretty, she's well-spirited, but I don't really think she's meant for the list. All the female leads from the movie Bridesmaids are hilarious, but the characters that play them have not had a good career, so I'm sorry, this movie just kind of kept them as the one thing for them, and it isn't really anything that much for it. It's just funny, that's it, nothing else. Princess Buttercup from The Princess Bride is not really that good of a princess like I thought it would be. I love The Princess Bride, no doubt, but the princess overall isn't as great as I thought. And then there's Rose from Titanic, another girl that isn't as great as I thought. I love Titanic, but Rose, I didn't love her. She was alright, but that's it. Now let's get to my number one favorite. Wonder Woman is my number one favorite female movie lead. I know, why exactly? Because she's the best female superhero of mine. I think Wonder Woman is everything. She's so powerful, she's so much, she has that awesome lasso, that awesome shield. She's a lot more powerful in the movies than she is in the actual comic books and cartoons. I mean, she's a lot sexier in the cartoons and comic books and movie. Well, she's sexy both ways, I don't know what I'm saying, but I think Wonder Woman is perfect in both ways. It's just how she's used in the movie that's awesome. Like, look at her. She can fight anybody. Like, she's a big, incredible, powerful superhero. She is the main reason the DC Extended Universe is made for both boys and girls, not just boys. She saved the DC Extended Universe because it was honestly flopping at first. We had movies like Batman vs. Superman. Oh, God. Movies like Suicide Squad. That movie wasn't horrible, but it honestly didn't do any good to the universe. But when Wonder Woman came out, everything changed. The universe finally started to succeed a little bit. And it's all thanks to this one fabulous woman. You saved the DC Extended Universe. You gave us the right kind of superhero. I mean, you're better than Supergirl. Well, the reason I didn't include Supergirl is that she's not really in any big movies. There's that one Supergirl movie from 1984, but nobody likes that movie, and her appearance in that movie's bland, so it's Wonder Woman, that's all the talk. Well, I did a terrible job, didn't I? I know, it was hard. Thanks for watching. If you hate it, I don't blame you. I kind of didn't like it that much myself, so you can dislike all you want. I'm sorry. But I did the best I can. Just enjoy what I think are the best. Don't ignore all the commentary I did. Just look at the list and just think about your opinion on it, okay? Because commentary on this was really hard, but I'm sorry. I gotta go.